10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed. Good job.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has shocked the boxing world with jaw-dropping training footage ahead of his upcoming rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. The intense clips have swayed many boxing professionals, making Davis their clear favorite. Legendary HBO commentator Jim Lampley even predicted that Davis will claim his 31st career win and 29th knockout when he defends his WBA lightweight title this August. With his power, speed, and focus on full display, Davis is looking more dangerous than ever before.
And if he doesn't win it, then it's exactly what I thought it was, which is another event in the ongoing, very successful career of a unique fighter. And I think that Tank Davis is a unique fighter because of his...
Lamont Roach Jr. has remained optimistic ahead of the rematch, highlighting his familiarity with Gervonta "Tank" Davis from their amateur days. According to veteran commentator Jim Lampley, Roach has emphasized his understanding of Davis's precise, powerful style and expressed his determination to begin crafting a legendary career. Roach sees the massive opportunities that would follow an upset victory, both in legacy and financial terms. While Lampley credited Roach for his impressive performance in the first fight, he maintained that Roach didn't clearly win. It was more about exceeding expectations than truly outclassing Davis in the ring.
Win it, then it's exactly what I thought it was, which is another event in the ongoing, very successful career of a unique fighter. And I think that Tank Davis is a unique fighter because of his precision, the style in which he fights, and the level of power that he's able to apply, particularly with the left hand.
Gotcha. So last week...
What Roach has yet to do is present a clear, convincing strategy for solving the puzzle that is Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a fighter known for a long streak of brutal knockouts and rising stardom in boxing. Jim Lampley remains impressed with Davis, even after the first fight, not just for his knockout power, but for the overall skill and presence the 30-year-old from Baltimore brings to the ring. Davis continues to prove he's more than just heavy hands.
So overwhelmed by what I saw that I compared him openly in the chat and here on Media Row to a young Roberto Duran. Dan Rayfield pointed out to me, quote, he's 29 years old, he hasn't...
Even without his devastating punching power, Gervonta "Tank" Davis would still be an elite lightweight, says Jim Lampley, thanks to his slick southpaw stance, smart footwork, and fierce killer instinct. But it's his raw power that truly sets him apart. Davis doesn't just defeat opponents, he obliterates them, often in shocking, violent fashion. Like a seasoned predator, he stalks patiently, counterpunching with precision before unleashing explosive, fight-ending power. His knockouts are as stunning as they are sudden, reminiscent of a young Mike Tyson during his rise. While Tyson was in his early development, Davis has evolved far past that stage. Yet he continues to outclass and overwhelm opponents with the same terrifying dominance.
In the world, you should be comparing him to Duran. But I was thinking of the spectacular punching power for a 135-pound fighter, comfortable will to violence, the ability to apply the violence the way he did, and it was an impressive show. I agree.
Lamont Roach Jr., a 29-year-old from Washington, D.C. and the reigning WBA junior lightweight champion, has put together 6 straight victories since his 2019 unanimous decision loss to Jamal Herring. Although that defeat was a turning point, Roach claims he's evolved as a fighter, a point he partially proved in his first clash with Gervonta Davis. However, Jim Lampley remains confident that the rematch in August will clearly favor Tank Davis.
Fought the kind of opposition at this point in his career that Duran had fought at age 29, so I was a little bit overboard.
You know, we acknowledged his talent beforehand about the combination of speed and power, but I asked you, we know...
Roach has a solid background and is undoubtedly a skilled boxer, Jim Lampley noted. But before their first fight, when he asked the most seasoned boxing writer he knew about Roach's chances, the response was, the same chance I'd give a caterpillar crawling in front of a steamroller. While that reflected Lampley's pre-fight stance, he now believes Roach's performance only fueled Tank's fire, and that Davis will be even more dangerous in the upcoming rematch.
Right. This is scary. Gervonta "Tank" Davis is working on his versatility. We already know he has that ultimate equalizer, that special God-gifted one-punch knockout power. But he also can box. Gervonta "Tank" Davis, he's very durable, has a chin, never seen him visibly hurt. Gervonta "Tank" Davis also has great footwork.
Roach has a solid background and is undoubtedly a skilled boxer, Jim Lampley noted. But before their first fight, when he asked the most seasoned boxing writer he knew about Roach's chances, the response was, "The same chance I'd give a caterpillar crawling in front of a steamroller." While that reflected Lampley's pre-fight stance, he now believes Roach's performance only fueled Tank's fire, and that Davis will be even more dangerous in the upcoming rematch.
I think he would be better, and even a better fighter if he went and did therapy like ASAP. Because I can just tell like he's a little sad, he's a little depressed, even before this fight. You know, so I think it'd be a better fight. I think that Lamont has the mental edge. I think anybody right now would have the mental edge over Tank, because to me he just needs to take some serious time to deal with whatever he's having to deal with.
Though she favored Roach in the rematch, she acknowledged Tank's power, offering a surprisingly balanced prediction.
Switch gears real quick to Tank and Lamont Roach. Is that the right opponent for Tank?
I don't know why everybody is kind of sleeping on Lamont when he has a decorated amateur career too. He's a very sturdy kid. He's very skilled. Tank is Tank. And when I say Tank is Tank, I mean like he's a bad man. He can fight. He's tough. I know we had our dispute back and forth or whatever. But at the end of the day, if we talk about just boxing.
Hey, absolutely.
I don't know why everyone's sleeping on Lamont, Clarissa Shields said. He's got a decorated amateur background. He's tough, and he's skilled. He's a very sturdy kid who knows how to fight. At the same time, she gave Gervonta Davis his credit. Tank is Tank, she continued. And when I say that, I mean he's a bad man in the ring. He can fight, he's tough, and he's dangerous. Despite their past feud, Shields didn't let personal history cloud her judgment. I know we had our back and forth or whatever, but at the end of the day, when we're just talking boxing, Tank's a great fighter, and I'm definitely looking forward to this one. When asked if the rematch was worthy of a pay-per-view ticket, she didn't hesitate. I've bought every Tank fight on pay-per-view, and I'll do the same for this one. Lamont Roach is worth watching. I think this fight's going to be very technical, very skillful, and as always, we'll see Tank's power on full display. May the best man win.
And I look forward to watching that fight.
Is this a pay-per-view fight though? Would you buy it? Are you gonna buy it?
I want any fight that Tank has had pay-per-view. And I think that Lamont Roach is worth watching. I think that this fight is going to be very technical, very, very, very skillful, and as always, we're going to see the power of Tank on display.
Absolutely. And Lamont Roach, do you have a relationship with him?
I know from the amateurs too.
Okay.
Be cool.
The footage showcased Gervonta Davis displaying unbelievable speed, quicker than anything fans had seen from him before. And in boxing, it's always the punch you don't see that does the most damage. One surprising reaction came from Terence Crawford. Although his comments were positive, he seemed to hold back from giving Davis full credit. Crawford didn't mention Davis by name, but his post on X made it obvious who he was referring to, subtly downplaying Tank's performance.
If you can punch, you can punch.
Okay.
It may not have the same effect that it did on a smaller guy, on a bigger guy, but if you sharp.
The footage showcased Gervonta Davis displaying unbelievable speed, quicker than anything fans had seen from him before. And in boxing, it's always the punch you don't see that does the most damage. One surprising reaction came from Terence Crawford. Although his comments were positive, he seemed to hold back from giving Davis full credit. Crawford didn't mention Davis by name, but his post on X made it obvious who he was referring to, subtly downplaying Tank's performance. In Gervonta Davis's camp, there's a strong belief that the only reason Lamont Roach withstood most of Tank's punches in their first fight was because he saw them coming. Had he not, he would have joined the list of 28 others knocked out by Davis. The newly released training footage was nothing short of mind-blowing, quickly racking up thousands of likes and comments. Notably, the comment section included reactions from boxing champions, fighters, and legends, further proof of the buzz surrounding Davis's performance.
Many years ago, legendary champion Marvin Hagler remarked that it's hard to get up and do road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. In other words, when you're hungry, when you're chasing something, the grind comes naturally. But once you're comfortable, that fire can fade.
After finishing his body exercises, the world champion moved on to mitt work and the punching bag, showcasing his power. He then sparred with an unidentified partner before taking a brief break. In a post on X, Davis is seen hammering the heavy bag non-stop for a full hour, a clear testament to his endurance and refined skill set. Intense training sessions like these are exactly the kind of moments that separate contenders from true champions. Gervonta Davis's championship status is unquestioned, but he deserves praise for his incredible display of power, athleticism, and unwavering resilience.
Bro, it's just my pride. Some people be made for it, some people don't. It's not going to win. You better be ready.
The video showed Gervonta Tank Davis going through body exercises, stretches, and push-ups. In recent times, the lightweight champion has faced criticism for not taking his training seriously, especially following talk of retirement. But with that behind him, Davis now has zero room for complacency. As he prepares to return to the ring, he faces the man who handed him the first blemish on his undefeated boxing record, making this fight more personal than ever.
That lawnmower, that's it.
I made the decision to...
After completing his body exercises, the world champion moved on to the mitts and punching bag, testing his explosive power. He then engaged in a sparring session with an unidentified partner before taking a short break. In a post shared on X, Davis was seen working the heavy bag relentlessly for a full hour without pause, a true display of his endurance and skill. Grueling training sessions like these are exactly what forge champions and sharpen their edge. Gervonta Davis's championship status is undeniable, but he also deserves praise for his incredible display of power, athleticism, and resilience. Soon, he looks poised to turn Lamont Roach into his personal punching bag. While Roach has shown confidence, he'll need to do more than talk. He must prove himself in the ring if he hopes to stand a chance against Tank, the most feared fighter in the lightweight division. Davis has also revealed his current impressive condition, appearing close to peak fighting weight. In a recent photo, he proudly displayed his shredded physique, signaling that he's far from done with the sport and remains as focused and dangerous as ever. That's exactly what fans have noticed, with many believing Gervonta Davis might be rethinking his retirement plans based on his current form and motivation. One fan reacted, "And you guys think he's going to retire? He looks clearly motivated." Another wrote, "I thought he wasn't in good condition, not disciplined, always gaining weight between fights. But this guy is serious now." A third chimed in, "He looks incredible. Roach is in trouble. There's no way he's retiring after looking like that." Another fan added, "He has to fight Lomachenko and Keyshawn Davis. You don't walk away from boxing when you're in this kind of shape."
That lawnmower, that's it. Start that.
I made the decision to train in DC because, I haven't been in the coldness in a minute. I haven't even trained in the coldness in a minute, so